and turn on captions. Let me go to the email and pull up the questions that have been sent. And that will be Math 120. Got 2 out of 7.2. Got some other ones down here. Let's see if they're in order. Let me see if I can put them in order. There we go. 7-2-11. 7-2-11-5. 7-2-11-5. So this is 7.2, 11-5. 7.2, 11/5. First of all, is it a test question? Yes, it is a test question, or, well, yeah, I wouldn't give you one with 3 or 4 parts to it, but each one is a good test question, each part. First one says, let's see, determine the total area under the standard normal curve. Okay, so we got a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So how do I know that? Because you don't have any 101s or 110s, or so it's assumed to be a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So that means we get our handy dandy sheet and 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Question says, determine the total area under the standard curve left of -1, left of -1, and right of +1. The empirical rule says this 1 minus 68%. So the empirical rule says 1 minus 68%, which is equal to 0.32. So that's what the empirical rule says. So we just got to find the area from -infinity to -1, or from -9999 to -1, and multiply by 2. Somebody tell me why I can multiply it by 2. Because they are what? Starts with an S. Y, M,
symmetric.
Thank you, symmetrical. So we can multiply it by 2. So take our handy dandy calculator. Second, bars, normal CDF, -99999 to -1. And the normal CDF gives us 0.1587. So I'm going to take my blue marker, 0.1587. And if this is 1.1587, this is 0.1587. So multiply them by 2 or add them together. 0.1587 plus 0.1587 It's going to be a 4. It's going to be a 7. It's going to be an 11 and a 3. So the answer is 0.3174, and it did come close to our empirical rule estimate of 0.32. So 0.3174 should be your answer. We got to click here to graph. Okay, she did that. 0.3174. There's the answer right there. Determine the area under the curve. All right, now we're going from negative 1.32 and the right 2.32. So I'm going to take my handy dandy sheet. And I'm going to go from 0. I don't know what just happened to my... Hold on a second. I'm trying to get back to where I was. There we go. My computer just went kablooey. There we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And now they want us to go from negative 1.32. So negative 1.32. And the right of 2.32. You know what's the sad? Is there's actually people that still haven't put these things out, still haven't printed these things out, and they're still confused and wondering why they're confused about how to do 7.1 and 7.2. That's what's so funny. Sad, really. Negative infinity, which is negative 9999, and positive infinity, which is 9999. Can we multiply by 2 this time? Yes or no? No. Why not, Mr. Baskins? Because they're not what?
They're not the same.
They're not the same. They're not symmetrical. Now, a lot of you say, well, Hubert, why are you telling us that? We know that. Some of you don't. Okay, this is not symmetrical to this, so we have to do 2 separate. So we've got to go negative 9999 to negative 1.32, and then 2.32 to 9999. So take your handy dandy calculators. I'm just going to do second entry, and I'm going to put negative 1.32. So I'm going to put insert 1.32 and enter. Let me do it by the empirical rule first. Empirical rule is 2.5. Let's see, empirical rule equals 2.5. And then 1.32 is a little bit more than half, 6.75. So I'd say 8. So empirical rule, I come up with the left-hand side being 10.5 or 0.0105. No, 0.1050. 0.1050. Let's see what they get. Close. 0.0934. 0.0934. Okay, now I'm going to do the right side, and that's going to be second bars, normal CDF from 2.32 29999. And empirical rule is going to be less than 2.5, because I'd say probably, I don't know, 1.8 or 0.018, 0180, somewhere around there. As you get closer to the tails, it gets hard to estimate. Okay, 0.0102. 0.0102. As you get closer to the tails, it's harder to estimate using the empirical rule because the area is so small. It's kind of hard. So there's the two areas. It's a whole lot easier when you do the picture, though, for those people that are still stubborn and don't want to use it. All right, so 0.0934. The total there, we've got to add it together. So let's add them together. I didn't know they wanted to add them together. So 0.0, let's just add 0.0934. 0.1036. 0.1036. Look at there, we got it right. And draw a standard curve. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That looks like it's it. Okay, third one. All three of these are three good test questions. So take my handy dandy drawing, and I'm going to do negative 0.88. So 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Let me scroll this up as far as I can scroll it up, as far as I can go. And there's my drawing. Trying to do everything on the drawing so you can see it. Okay, negative 0.88. And negative 0.88 is going to be right in here. So I'm going to draw a line like this. And they want this area right here. And then to the right of 1.48. Now you could do the complement here and just find this area right in here and subtract it from 1. You could do that. Go from negative 0.88 to 1.48 and subtract that from 1. You could do that. I'm just telling you. But now the empirical rule says, why do you keep using that empirical rule? Because the empirical rule tells you if you're in the right ballpark or not. Empirical rule is an estimate, and that's going to be 2.5, 13.5 is 16. And then let's see, this is 0.88. 0.88 is 3/4. So 1/4 of 34 would be like, let's see, 33 divided by 3 is 11. So we're going to say 16 plus 11 is 27. So 0.2700 is what I get for the empirical rule. And on this side, I get almost the same thing, but I don't think it is. It's a little bit more half. So half is, that'll be 6% or 2.5. Half, that's 6.75. So 6.75 plus 2.5. Well, that's going to be 25. And then bring to 1, that's going to be 9. So 0.0925 with the empirical rule and 0.27 on that side. So let's see what we get. Anybody see Halloween Kills this weekend? Oh, it's a good movie. Oh man, Mr. Moray, was that a good movie or not? That was a good movie. I watched it twice. It's a good movie. Some of y'all that don't watch movies except for, you know, animation and Marvel comics, you need to go watch it. It's a good movie. But you need to watch the first one. Anyway, I'll shut up because y'all don't have conversation. So, all right. Calculator. So second, bars, normal CDF, negative 9999 to negative 0.88. Empirical rule says close to 2.27. Let's see how close I am. Ooh, way off. 0.1894. 0.1894. I don't know why I'm off by that much. I think I might have misestimated my 34%. Okay, let's see how the other side is. 1.48, second bars, normal CDF, 1.48 to 9999, and paste. 0.0925. Okay, that's a little bit closer. 0.0694. Now, I guess they want to add them up again, so we're going to go ahead and add them. So go ahead and say plus 0.1894, 0.2588, 0.2588 if they add them together. So the area under the normal curve or to the right total is 0.2588. And that's it. So I don't know if Miss Turner is here today. Does that help you out, Miss Turner? Yes, no, thumbs up. No. I guess she said that helped. I don't know. Thumbs up or thumbs down, Miss Turner? That help? Okay. Kind of helps asking questions, doesn't it? It's called communication. Yeah, it kind of helps. Next question that's been sent. Oh, here's one. 6.2. I didn't see these. 6.1, 25.8. 6.1, 25.8. Oh, we did that one in class. We did one like that one in class. All right. It's called the average, finding the average. 6.2, 19.9. 6.2, 19.9. 6.2, 19.9. NPX. And is the X equal to, greater than, or less than? It's equal to. So you use binomial PDF for precise. So since that's an equal sign, that means precise. we're going to do second vars, binomial, PDF for precise, and 60.99 and 58. And the probability is 0.0988. 0.0988. That's a test question. I give you a bunch of these on the test just to make sure you're paying attention in class. Okay? All right. That's 7.2, 13 slash 7.2, 13 slash 8. 7.2, 13 slash 8. 7.2, 13 slash 8. Take my handy dandy drawing. Find the z-score such that the area under the standard normal curve to the left is 0.5700. All right, I want somebody to guesstimate and tell me how to guesstimate where is 0.5700. Somebody tell me how to guesstimate that on the curve here. Does anybody know what 50% is? You know, where do I put 0.5700? That means I want somebody to unmute their mic and communicate. Good luck with that, Hubert. It's your class time. I'm going to do forehead ceiling fan. And wait for y'all to communicate. Come on, Mr. Noel, you can communicate with me.
0.57 would be like, it'd be a little bit past center of 0 and 1.
Thank you. Because of this is what? What does this mark right here represent?
0.
50%, right?
Yeah.
The left is 50%, right? So the middle that you're talking about 0, yes, that's 50%. Because you add up these four numbers, you get 50%. I guarantee you there's somebody in the room right now going, oh, I just realized that. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get forehead ceiling fan fixed. Sorry. We only got like six foreheads today. All right, so 57 would be, let's see, this half of 7, this is a 17, so that'd be 67%. We need 57%. So that 67 represents 0.5. 50 to 67 is what? 17. Half of 17 is what? 8. So that right there would be 58%. And that would be a quarter, 0.25. So by the empirical rule, I'm going to say it's around 0.23 or 24. So by the empirical rule, I'm going to say that my z-score is going to be around 0.23 to 24. That's by the empirical rule. So I'm going to draw a line. I done lost my ruler. Or one of the cats have taken it and threw it off. Probably cat stole it. Oh well. So I'm going to put my line right about there. And this right here, because which way do we read? Left to what? Left to right, so that will be 0.5700. So how do you do it on the calculator? Well, we're given an area, and you got to find a z-score. We're going to use inverse norm. So, second bars, inverse norm, and 0.5700. Left tail means left side. That's what we're doing. If it was right tail, if it asked for the right side, you do right. And I said it was around 0.23 or 24. I was a little bit off. 0.17637. 0.18. So the actual z-score equals 0.18. Hubert, why did you just do 2 decimal places? Because z-scores are usually 2 decimal places and area is usually 4. And I probably told you that a while back. So 0.18 should be your answer. Excelente. That's a test question. Uh, 7.2, 15/9. Somebody's mad because people are sending questions. They're not supposed to send questions. This Tide Pod generation is freaking weird. All right. Find the z-score. I'm going to let y'all do this one. Find the z-score that represents 0.2900. Area is equal to 0.2900. And I want you to find an empirical rule estimate, and then I want you to do it in the calculator. So do the empirical rule first, and then as an estimate, and then I want you to do it in the calculator. And that means the back row on all the 4 heads and all the ceiling fans, please do it. So somebody tell me where they think 0.29 would be. That means I want somebody to speak. Where would 0.29 be?
A little to the right of the line that has mu minus 1 standard deviation.
So a little bit to the right of -1. Is that what you were saying? Who answered that?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you, Mr. Long. I'm trying to find where's your video? Oh, there you are in the top left. Oh, you got ceiling fan and forehead. That's why I kind of threw you off there a little bit. All right, so he says it's right in here. Well, that's true because this right here is 16%, 2.5 and 13.5. Right here, from here to here is 16%. So half of 34 is 17. 17 and 16 is what, 33? So half would be 33. Okay, because that's 17 plus 16. I'm just going off the top of my head. Half of 17 is 8. 8 and 16 is 24. So 8 and 16, that'd be 24. We need 0.29. So 24 to 33, half of that is what? 24 to 33 is 9, 8 or 9 divided by 2 is 4. So that would be 0.28 right there. So we're going to use that as a guide. And I get, let's see, this is 0.5. That would be 0.75. So between 0.5 and 0.75, I'm going to say 0.6 something. I'm going to say negative 0.6. That's what I get for a estimate. Now, if you have no earthly idea what I just did, then you're in trouble for this test. Okay? And I can say that because y'all don't communicate, so I have no earthly idea if y'all understand what the hell I'm doing or not. I don't know. So anyway, there's 0.6. So the area here, they want 0.2900. So I go to inverse norm. Second bars, inverse norm. And that's going to be 0.2900. Negative 0.55. Wow. I got negative 0.6. So negative 0.55, sorry. Here's your Z-score. There's two good test questions, and they're not really difficult. Negative 0.55. Hold on, let me get rid of all this junk. There. Negative 0.55. Okay, negative 0.56. What does it say? Rounded 2 decimal places? 56. Well, hell, I can't type. Probably why it's wrong. I can't type. I got 0.55. Okay, did I not type in? They say 0.55. That's wrong. Can't be 0.55. That'd be 50%.
I thought
That's an incorrect answer. There's no, oh, to the right. I didn't see that. To the right. Highlight that. Right tail. So you got to change your tail over here. My bad. Y is equal or second bars. Inverse norm. Change that to right tail. Right tail, which would be positive 0.55. And I'll show you what they just said. In other words, the right tail, they want the right to be 0.55. Mr. Long, you were correct. we did the left side. So just think of this as another problem. Okay, we did this side. All right, the right side, if they said the right side is 0.2900, it would just be the opposite. So that would be positive 0.55. So we just did another problem. So I'm sorry. If it says right, you put right tail. If it says left, you put left tail. We just did two problems. Sorry about that. If it says right, put right tail in your calculator. Next. 7.233/14. 7.223/14. And all these are good test questions. Okay, your x is greater than, oops, we've got a, oh, this is one that's got a different mean. So we got to put in the different mean. 50. And that's going to be 57, 64, 71. And going backwards, 43. I have no idea. What's 30 what? 6? Somebody check my math. And 29. And they want to know, what is the probability of your score being greater than 39? Now, is that greater than or equal to, or is it's just greater than? So they just want 39. So where is 39 on here? Well, half of 7 is 3.5. So this right here will be 39.5. Right there. So 39 would be right about here. And that's going to be 39. So it's going to be, let's see, -1, negative. It's going to be greater than -1.5 because they want the area to the right. Now, if you have an old calculator, you got to change 39 into a z-score. 39 minus 50 is what? 11? I have no idea. 40, yeah. 39, 40, yeah. So -11/7, which is equal to -1 point what? 1.5 or 1.6, close to 1.6. I don't know. And we're going to go from that -1.6 to positive infinity, which is 9999. So take your handy dandy calculator. And if you have a newer calculator, you can actually hit second bars. You can put in the mean and standard deviation, and you don't have to calculate anything. So from 39 to 9999 with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 7. So if you have a newer calculator, you can put everything in and just hit paste. 0.9420. So 0.9420. 0.9420. And there it is, 0.9420. Now that was a good I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, we did 1, 2, 3. We did about 5 questions, 5 or 6 questions, and one of those had 3 or 4 parts. So we did at least 10, around 10 or 12 questions. Thanks for y'all sending them. Appreciate it. It's always good to communicate. Now, you got your test. I'll go ahead and pull that up. Let's see, where are y'all? 120.24. And let's look at your dates or assignments. And there is the Unit 3 test. I posted it yesterday just so some people could see it. And it's due on the 22nd, which is 4 days from today. So there it is. Your homework ends on the 20th. That's 2 days from now. So everybody should be working toward, everybody should be on 7.1 and 7.2 right now. So any questions? All right, I will go over the test Wednesday, and I expect more questions because some of y'all haven't even done the 7.1 and 7.2 homework. So I expect more questions, and since we have people in here breaking the ice and putting away all the bull crap, send questions, okay? Because I know you got them. All right? All right, let me call the roll. I'm going to go by the enrollment. So let me call the roll. Let's go to the handy dandy. Turn this off. And turn this off.